Oh, Captain, my Captain. Who knows where that comes from? Anybody? Not a clue? It's from a poem by Walt Whitman about Mr. Abraham Lincoln. Now in this class, you can either call me Mr. Keating, or if you're slightly more daring, oh, Captain, my Captain. Now let me dispel a few rumors so they don't fester into facts. Yes, I too attended Helton and survived. And no, at that time I was not the mental giant you see before you. I was the intellectual equivalent of a 98-pound weakling. I would go to the beach and people would kick copies of Byron in my face. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. The Latin term for that sentiment is carpe diem. Now who knows what that means? Seize the day. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Why does the writer use these lines? Because we are food for worms, lads. Because believe it or not, each and every one of us in this room is one day going to stop breathing, turn cold, and die. Now I would like you to step forward over here and peruse some of the faces from the past. You've walked past them many times. I don't think you've really looked at them. They're not that different from you, are they? Same haircuts, full of hormones just like you, invincible just like you feel. The world is their oyster. They believe they're destined for great things just like many of you. Their eyes are full of hope just like you. Did they wait until it was too late to make from their lives even one iota of what they were capable? Because you see, gentlemen, these boys are now fertilizing daffodils. But if you listen real close, you can hear them whisper their legacy to you. Go on, lean in, listen. Do you hear it? Carpe. Hear it? Carpe. Carpe diem. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary. Excrement! That's what I think of Mr. J. Evans Pritchard. We're not laying pipe, we're talking about poetry. How can you describe poetry like American Bandstand? I like Byron, I give him a 42, but I can't dance to it. Now I want you to go and rip out that page. Go on, rip out the entire page. You heard me, rip it out! Rip it out! Go on, rip it out, gentlemen. Tell you what, don't just tear out that page. Tear out the entire introduction. I want it gone. History. Leave nothing of it. Rip it out. Rip. Be gone, J. Evans Pritchard, Ph.D. Rip, shred, tear, rip it out. I want to hear nothing but ripping of Mr. Pritchard. We'll perforate it. Put it on a roll. It's not the Bible. You're not going to go to hell for this. Go on, make a clean tear. I want nothing left of it. Rip it out. I don't hear enough rips. Keep ripping, gentlemen. This is a battle, a war, and the casualties could be your hearts and souls. Thank you, Mr. Dalton. Armies of academies going forward, measuring poetry. No, we will not have that here. No more Mr. J. Evans Pritchard. Now, in my class, you will learn to think for yourselves again. You will learn to savor words and language. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. I see that look in Mr. Pitt's eyes. Like 19th century literature has nothing to do with going to business school or medical school, right? Maybe Mr. Hopkins, you might agree with him, thinking, yes, we should simply study our Mr. Pritchard and learn our rhyme and meter, and go quietly about the business of achieving other ambitions. I have a little secret for you. Huddle up, huddle up. We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. To quote Mr. Whitman, "Oh me, oh life of the questions of these reoccurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, oh me, oh life?" Answer, that you are here, that life exists, an identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be? Thank you, gentlemen. If you noticed, everyone started off with their own stride, their own pace. Mr. Pitt's taking his time. He knew he'll get there one day. Mr. Cameron, you can see him thinking. Is this right? It might be right. It might be right. I know that. Maybe not. I don't know. Mr. Overstreet, driven by a deeper force. Yes, we know that. All right. Now, I didn't bring them up here to ridicule them. I brought them up here to illustrate the point of conformity, the difficulty in maintaining our own beliefs in the face of others. Now, those of you I see the look in your eyes, I would have walked differently. Well, ask yourselves, why were you clapping? Now, we all have a great need for acceptance, but you must trust that our beliefs are unique, your own. Even though others may think them odd or unpopular, even though the herd may go, "That's bad." Robert Frost said, "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Now I want you to find your own walk now, your own way of striding, pacing, any direction, anything you want, whether it's proud, whether it's silly, anything. Gentlemen, the courtyard is yours.